fast it happened. Rob and I were kind of watching one kid. He was the first one out. We're like, all right, let's go get this guy. And all of a sudden, you know, 3 other guys started getting ripped out with him. Rob called for the Coverdown.
Coverdown, Baltimore, Little Island, what do you see? Both went.
Turned around, had to swim against the rip. And as I'm swimming back towards the guys who are screaming for help, I see this wave go over the one kid, and I lost him for about 5 seconds. Which 5 seconds when you're going to rescue someone is a long time. I thought I was going to have to surface dive, and all I could think in my head was everybody's going home today.
All right, first, can you just state your name and where you're from originally?
Edward R. Hill, originally from Rehoboth Beach, born in Rehoboth Beach, January 18th, 1906. The mayor appointed Seton Maynard and me as lifeguards.
In 1921, Ben Shaw and the Red Cross founded the Rehoboth Beach Patrol. 85 years later, Rehoboth has established itself as one of the top beach patrols in the nation for saving lives. Since 1921, only 2 drownings have occurred while lifeguards have been on duty.
It was part of being part of Rehoboth, was being a lifeguard. You know, that was just really, you know, it was part of growing up.
Why did I become a lifeguard? Because it was the best job you could have down in Rehoboth at the time. My dad had been a lifeguard. In fact, my dad was a lifeguard back in the 30s and 40s, and that's how he met my mother.
Save someone's life today. You can go home and say, you know, I did something good today. You know, I saved someone's life. Not the average person can say that.
It was part of my growing up. Part of me being a lifeguard was part of who I became eventually.
Nobody has a tradition of the Rehoboth Beach Patrol. That's what we're all about, tradition.
Mr. Hill, it's been about roughly 70 years since you've guarded. Why do you think it is people are so willing to talk about it? I mean, 70 years later and you're still talking about the Rehoboth Beach Patrol. Do you know why that is? I mean, there's something special about the Beach Patrol that people are willing just to share their stories with and feel.
Yeah, seems to me.
He would go out on a boat and pull them in. I'd go out and pull them in. I pulled a young fellow and a young woman in by myself at one time.
I'm sitting on a lifeguard stand, and this elderly gentleman came up to me, and he tapped me on the foot, and I looked down. I recognized him from the day before, and he said, "Thank you for saving my grandsons."
You know, they tell me stories and it's like the exact same thing that we do today, and it's really kind of funny. And you know, tradition is very big on this beach patrol.
Yeah, you learn about the tradition here, so you learn the respect of what's here and who has been here before you. They don't jam it down your throat, you accept it. You learn about it because you're curious and you're now part of this. And once you're part of this, it'll never go away. And the best examples of that are the people who have been here for the longest and the people who had come through here and spent 1 year as a guard. They're RBP forever.
In 2005 and 2006, this documentary was filmed by former lifeguards to follow the Rehoboth Beach Patrol and film segments to show what it takes and what it means to become a Rehoboth Beach Patrol lifeguard. In 2 months, these beaches will be packed with upwards of 40,000 people. Rehoboth Beach Patrol employs 80 guards to keep the beaches safe from Memorial Day to the 3rd week in September. The first step in becoming a lifeguard is to pass the tryouts. In 2005, a mandatory retest was started for any returning veteran guards.
How you feeling, buddy? 30 years. I don't know. Maybe one more year, big guy. One more year. Might have it in me. I don't know. See what happens today.
The feeling, what do you look forward to on Memorial Day weekend?
I just can't wait to get up on that stand. Just, I don't know, man. It's just great. Can't wait to get on the beach.
What makes you want to be a Rehoboth Beach lifeguard?
I'd be like a 3rd generation lifeguard.
I could either be a bartender or a lifeguard. Pretty simple choice.
You know, might as well keep in shape while doing a summer job. So, and be on the beach.
You know, today it's kind of a tough deal. Kid's got to come down here. He's got to find himself a place to live. Kids all lived here. Everybody that was a guard lived here. It's not like that today.
Name, okay? Just name of your school and state.
The test begins with a mile run under 7 minutes, 30 seconds. 30 push-ups in a minute.
Moving. All the way up.
40 sit-ups in a minute.
Come on. 20 seconds. No, she's done.
Okay.
You out last night? Was anybody else out last night?
You didn't get that on tape. I love swimming.
I decided to become a guard because it was a much better job. And I could swim. Having been raised down here, I was, you know, like a duck.
Next is the swim portion of the test. 500-meter swim or 10 laps down and back.
854. 854.
Good job. How do you feel now?
I'm incredibly tired. And my shoulders just got shot by 2 or 3 AK-47s. Like,
same spot?
The delts.
Right. Good work, man.
50-meter sprint in 40 seconds.
I never wanted to be a lifeguard. My dad dragged me, and I went to my mom and said, I want a lifeguard, I want a lifeguard. And my dad said, you're a lifeguard, I need relief guards. You're down there on the beach. And there I was. He yanked me, and it did. It changed me, it helped me grow as a person and mature. And I think a lot of guards who come onto the patrol, it opens up another world to them.
And last, the underwater breath hold. All sections must be completed in order to pass the test.
He said, come on out, we'll give you a try, and I liked it. Couldn't swim, but they taught me how to swim, but I could run. And I've been here ever since. They made me a lieutenant in 1982, and I've been here ever since. I teach school, and there's nothing else I want to do. I love it. It's the best job in the world.
I think we had 3 or 4 that didn't make either the run time or the swim time or push-up or sit-up time or numbers, so I've got to email them as well as everybody else and tell everybody how they did. Fortunately, the ones that failed a segment, we'll have to come back next weekend and complete that segment.
Is there a better place to work? The beautiful view, calming ocean sounds, relaxing atmosphere, and to top it all off, no shirt or shoes required.
I'm an idiot.
Where's the general?
Like Memorial Day weekend comes, how do you feel as like a guard?
Cold water. You know we're gonna have to go in probably first day, but it's gonna be great just to be able to sit again. That's what you wait for all winter. And luckily, winter went fast.
It's excitement. I'm ready for another busy summer.
I'm ready to get started. Ready to get out there on the chair.
It's the whole world stops around you, and all you are is just your lifeguard, what's in front of you. You know, the social aspect before and after on duty. It's just a life. That's why we all stick around and do it as long as we can.
Rookies, you got big shoes to fill here. People look at you every day. They need your help. Don't act like an idiot up on the stand. Lieutenants, I challenge you guys to step up and show these kids what's going on. Yes, you gotta lead by example. So make sure this is real out here. Only a couple of us who were here when that drowning happened, like Ken said. So it's for real out here. It's a great time. We're here to get in great shape, but at the same time, we're here to save lives. That's the #1 thing.
Veterans, get the rookies up to speed as quick as you can. All right. Got the medical staff in place. We're ready to go. It's been a long, long winter. Vacation's over.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe the vacation's already started.
Memorial Day marks the beginning of summer for beach towns across the U.S. Tourists escape their busy routines in search of a relaxing coastline. Delaware is located within 100 miles of 4 major cities: Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, and New York City, making Delaware's beaches a prime destination for tourists to visit.
How long have you been coming to Rehoboth?
About 11 years.
We come down about 5 times a season, usually over the holidays and then usually in October, and just to get away.
Fun in the sun. You know, it's just a place where people can come and relax, lay on the beach, swim, have a good time, and get up, get off the beach, have a little snack at all the wonderful restaurants we have around here, and you know, it's a wonderful place to be.
There is a different feel, there's a different tempo, there's a different schedule to follow, and it's just a break from the routine, really, that's all it is.
We've been coming down, actually for this weekend, at least 20 years. We've been coming down to Rehoboth.
It's not too commercialized, not huge skyscrapers everywhere, and not so much hustle bustle city stuff, so that's pretty much it.
From Minnesota, actually. I came down here just because we don't have this kind of the ocean around where we are.
Receiving your uniform as a veteran guard gives you a sense of accomplishment and pride. They know what it takes to say, "I've earned these." As for the rookies, it's 6 weeks away before they'll have that same feeling about the Reds.
38, 61. These are 3 years old, but just as comfortable as the first day I got them.
orderly fashion, second-year guards.
I'm gonna wear res and have the bag. And you just, everybody seems to carry themselves pretty proudly down there. And it's infectious, and you end up doing it yourself as well.
And I tried out because my brother had guarded here the previous year, and he had a pair of the old school red and white pinstripe shorts.
We had black and white, and you were only issued one pair of trunks, and
supposedly for the whole season.
For the whole season, and you got a jacket, and you got a raincoat.
Well, a pair of white trunks and a yellow shirt, sleeveless.
What was the uniform you guys wore back then? What was that like?
Whatever you have on.
Yeah. So I showed up to the tryout with these shorts on. Worst thing I could have ever done. Because all the existing guards, the current guards, looked at me like, who's this guy? Why is he wearing our shorts? He's trying out to the beach patrol. And that did not work to my advantage during the tryout. I know I did pretty well in the run and did fairly well in the swim, and I didn't get hired that year.
Oh yeah. I remember last year I was so nervous coming into this, and this year it's just like another day.
And you know, you're being when you get handed the reds, you're getting handed responsibility over, you know, hundreds and thousands of people.
We walked out on the beach, and I had looked out. Like I said, I had guarded the pool before, and you know, there'd be like 10, 15 people in the water. I went out and sat on the beach and looked at the people. I was like, I can't believe that I'm going to be responsible for all these people. And I told my mom, I was like, Mom, I want to go home. I don't think I can do this. Is that your locker?
After being issued the uniform and whistle, you receive your buoy. It will be by your side from here on out. It is the only tool you will have that will help you make a rescue.
Come on, you'll never lose.
Chico, you good? I'm looking for mine from last year, but I get these going. I got you.
What's your forecast for this year? For this summer?
Forecast, we've got a lot of new people. We're going to teach them how to be lifeguards, because that's the job. That's all it's about, is saving lives. Everything else is icing on the cake. Icing on the cake.
And that's really what guarding's about. It's about being physically and mentally fit, because you're responsible for other people's lives. I mean, boiling it down, that is your responsibility, to have a safe beach. And that's what we did at Rehoboth Beach Patrol. That's why we have one of the best records in the country.
Start grabbing buoys, just put them out front.
What's your feelings being
get all jammed up in here.
Nervous, scared. I don't know, I'm excited, man. Excited to save some lives.
Expect the unexpected. You know, the first day we have a little bit of a swell out there, and they might have a save. They might have a medical emergency. So you have to be ready for everything. You know, it's exciting to get your uniform and to have that on, to get your buoy and to look official. But now you have to act official.
All right, do all the vets have a buoy? All the vets have a buoy? Yeah. All right, rookies, you guys gotta take the big one.
What is it? You got to uphold almost an image. You know, you're representing the town, the area, the beach, your community, the whole bit.
So basically, being able to be at the beach for 8 hours a day it's the best job in the world. There's nothing else that I would want to do. I would pay to be able to do this.
We made $37.50 a week, and that was the highest pay at the time. And I was happy to get that. It didn't make any difference, because we lived at 6 Pennsylvania Avenue, and when we got out of school in Rehoboth, we just took our shoes off. We never put them back on. So it was really great for us, because all we had to do was walk to work. We never put shoes on. It was easy. We did what we liked to do. We liked to swim. We liked to be on the beach, and we got paid for it.
Starting a job with zero experience means you have to learn a lot and fast. Situations will arise and you must respond quickly and correctly.
When you get a crowded sunny weekend, we kind of hit the ground running. The rookies got to learn on the run, and I've told the rookies, you know, just absorb everything. Try to make your brain like a sponge, and everything we say or do or you see, just absorb it and try to learn from it and process it.
And they're ready to cover down. All right, cover down is when, if we both have to go in, somebody from both stands, if we're sitting double, is going to cover down to this stand, climb up on the stand and watch our water, okay? So you're going to tell them to stand by, and then if Mark has to go in, he's going to say,
Cover down, Hickman, send the signal with the whistle.
put your arms straight out like this, and you're just going to blow your whistle as loud as you can. You're going to blow them to there, and then to there, and they know that's the cover down signal, and then you can go. And those guys are going to be full sprint, hauling ass down here to get up on that stand and watch our water, okay? And it just keeps working like that. If those two have to go in, they're going to call another cover down, and people are just going to keep coming. So we always have coverage on the stands, all right? We're never going to have an empty stand.
Learning when and how to make rescues is the most important part of lifeguarding. It doesn't happen overnight. It comes with experience.
When I was a rookie in '90, I was sitting with Pete Sargent, and somebody went down off of, I guess it was Stokely. And I didn't want to go in, and Pete forced me in, and I made my first save, but I was afraid to look stupid. You know, I didn't want to look dumb going in when the person was not really in trouble, but she really was. And I think Pete actually asked her out on a date that night.
You can just look at a person and just tell how they'll handle themselves in the water. So I used to tell my rookies, you know, look at this person, look what they're doing now. You know, they're keeping their head out of the water, so they're not going to be a very strong swimmer, or they're getting knocked down when they should have some more leg strength. So I always tried to stress that myself because, you know, like a lot of things are preventive. I always used to try to teach, I'm sure you've heard this before, but preventive lifeguarding.
A good guard doesn't usually go in the water very often because a good guard can identify a problematic situation and can steer their swimmers away from it. So that's what you spend most of your time doing on a daily basis is watching the ocean and making sure that people don't get into a situation where you need to make a rescue.
Being on the stand makes you responsible for everyone on your beach.
I definitely feel pressure, you know. You gotta watch the beach and anything could go down. You know, something, you're looking one way, something can happen the other.
And you can have a feeling. I could look down the south end of the beach and I have a feeling that somebody was in trouble up at the north end of the beach. I turn around and sure enough somebody's in trouble.
It's just real, you gotta keep your nerves going. It's a lot of mental. You know, you can't be scared.
First day, I was scared.
I was overwhelmed. It was Memorial Day weekend. I was like, wow, there's mad people here.
First day I learned at lunch, I was on the edge of my seat and I was scanning more water than I've ever scanned in my life.
Where they have that responsibility. It's a tough job. I mean, you have to sit out there and you're watching maybe 200, 300 people. And you're the main person out there, and their lives depend on you, and you have to react to any emergency. So it's a lot of responsibility for being so young.
Scary at times, and then you get past that, and you become a little more comfortable. You're always nervous. I mean, emergencies are emergencies, but you learn how to handle that. That's a very maturing factor for a young person.
responsibility is unbelievable.
Well, I think that's a good example is when you're in business or even in sports, you make a mistake, you're not likely to kill somebody or let somebody die. And in the military or on the beach patrol, if you make a mistake and you're not paying attention, somebody can die. It's the ultimate as far as responsibility goes.
A lot of other beaches, in fact, I don't think there's any other beaches that quite do it the way we do it. They might have a week training and then you pass, some type of test. You might have a pre-tryout, but what we do is unique. And if there is any other beach patrols that do it like we do, they do it because they saw us do it. We were the first, we were the originators. Nobody can take that trademark away from us.
Rehoboth Beach Patrol created a program that required a rookie to undergo intensive training for 6 weeks and then complete a test in the end. Only after the test is passed will they be considered an actual Rehoboth Beach lifeguard.
They're young. We have some people that are just turned 16 years old and they're learning what it really takes to work out. Even though they might have played sports in high school, this is a completely different environment. You come here, you have a lieutenant standing over you, and there's no breaks once you start working out. So these guys have to really get used to stepping it up every day, just not for a competition, because a lot of times in high school, even at practice, you goof off. There's no goofing off here. We're young, but they'll fit in and everything will be all right in another month or so.
1, 2, 3, 4. You get down in a push-up position over there. Just hold the push-up position. On it, let's go. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Let's go, come on.
6.
Let's go.
5, 4.
Let's go.
Ready?
There you go. Move it. Let's go. Get up and start doing push-ups. Down, 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 down. You can just hold it.
Come on, Chris. Come on. Come on, man. You got it. Come on, boy. Come on now.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Stop.
4.
I heard like 2 people. Down.
Go. 3.
On.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3.
Stop. I heard 1 person.
Come on, guys.
Down.
1,
Everybody.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Good. Push-ups. I want to hear everybody. Down.
1,
down.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go up and chopping them.
Hit it. Come on. Hit it. Come on, get up, boys. Hit it.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Great. Get your buoys.
Down.
Take pride in the fact that you have the toughest workouts possibly on the East Coast. Take pride in the fact that you're doing it. You'll never be in this shape again the rest of your life, I guarantee it.
Good stuff.
All right, get up, Chris. Get up. Get up. Everybody over there. You're bringing everybody down, Chris.
Everywhere.
You're making me cry tears. Cry tears enough to power box. Let's go.
Spread out.
How you doing? Hey, man. Good, man. Good to see you.
My rookie year definitely kind of laid the foundation of what I'm doing now with just the discipline and the desire to go out there and do it. You kind of learn by going through rookie training and what they push you through.
Hands up.
All right. When a lieutenant or a vet says something to you, we're not saying it to get on you and embarrass you or anything like that. We're saying it because we want you guys to work harder. We want you guys to be able to make a rescue. That's what I was telling Perez. You ain't gonna walk if somebody's out there drowning. So why are you gonna walk now? That's what we're training for, right? Training to make a save.
I want this to be a good experience. We don't want to be hard asses all the time, but I guarantee you, you'll have days where you have 10 rescues in one day. And if you don't train now to do it, guess what? You have those, you have the parents and the family members to say, I wasn't in good enough shape. That's why I was too tired to go out and get your family member. Does that make sense? All right, now let's have a good rest of the workout. Work hard. Work hard.
Punish them? I did most of the work with them, so I don't really consider it punishment. I try to get them in the best shape they could, because if they were in the best shape of their lives, they could save somebody else's life, and that was the real reason for it.
I mean, when it gets big and steep, you got to be trained, you got to be well conditioned to go out there and first manage yourself, and then on the way back in, manage yourself and a victim.
It was so bad that you came up upon a jetty, then you would have to take the people back out, and they would get scared. Because you had to take them back out, get around the jetty to come on the other side of the jetty. And some people really just would fight you.
And it took us probably 5 minutes to bring him back in, because I mean, he was done. Like if we couldn't let go of him, or he definitely would have gone under.
It's life or death out there in some situations, and to have strong lieutenant corps is one of the main parts of this Rehoboth Beach Patrol.
I worked the first 4 years under Doc Burnham, and he never had a lieutenant system. Then Coach came, and I had the most experience of anyone, and so I was selected to be a lieutenant. The main thing that you got $10 more a week at that time.
Responsibilities of a lieutenant are huge. One, you're in charge of what's going on directly in front of your lifeguard stand, and then two, you're in charge of everything that's going on in your section. So the way you train your guards and the way you run your section is a direct reflection on that lieutenant.
I think Dad never actually lifeguarded. He was always he was a phys ed coach at Rehoboth High School. So they hired him to come in and run the patrol when Doc Burnham left. And my dad had some ideas on how to organize, and he developed a lieutenant system, which we use now, where we break the patrol into 4 sections, and each section has a lieutenant.
Okay, this is the board. Every morning we come in, and Kent and the section lieutenants will set the board. And you go section by section. You have Rehoboth, Hickman, Olive, and Deauville. And setting the board is not just putting people in, wherever they want to go. Obviously, you're going to have section lieutenants and the floating lieutenants on each lieutenant chair. And it's important to balance out your section. Obviously, you don't want 2 rookies sitting together, especially for the first half of the summer. They're still learning. They're still getting the run of the mill, finding out how things are going to go. So it's really important to balance out your board so you have good coverage everywhere you go.
It's not setting up the cap for the... And as a lieutenant, what's your job? What's your duties as a lieutenant?
teach the rookie scum the ways of the force, and just to make sure that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. And we function as a unit here, and if everybody knows their job and does their job, everything works smooth as butter.
So it's been a lot of running, a lot of push-ups, a lot of squats, a lot of physical labor. It's wearing on my bones and my muscles.
I went home at 5:30, went to sleep, woke up at 7:30, came to work. That was my first couple weeks.
Rehoboth never ever let down on the physical side of the training. Never. Not you constantly worked out and stayed fit.
Yeah, we used to work out a little bit. Yeah.
You know, we pretty much back then ran until somebody either lost their breakfast or went down to their knees.
You had to be in great physical shape, and we knew it was part of our training to get in shape for the season.
It was just as hard. I'm not going to say it was harder because I think the rookies today do more swimming. Back then we were what we call land animals, and we would run all the time.
You were asked to maybe swim from one jetty to the other.
Going through the rookie training was, a different part of the body would hurt immensely like no other time in my life at different points in rookie training.
The coach really liked to practice pull-ins.
We'd rescue each other. Go out and do what we'd normally be expected to do.
And my first day was with Steve Sharp, and I can clearly remember doing what they called boardwalks back then.
Used to have us run around the jetties, and sometimes it was high tide, and you still had to run around this jetty, and it would be up to your waist, and sometimes you'd get crashed by a wave and knocked into the jetty. So
how was your
Well,
training?
I think it was very similar, and usually the lieutenants would work you out in the morning, especially in June when the water was probably 55 degrees and very uncomfortable.
When we did a lot of running up and down the beach, we used to play water volleyball then.
It was a very rough and tumble game. It was like football in the water.
But it was very good for conditioning. Unfortunately, there were a couple pretty serious injuries with that.
The ability to step down and train during certain parts of the day is huge, because without that, I think a lot of people would be walking away from this job.
It's 8 o'clock, and the reason we're here so early is because, the rookie test, we have to have 25 days. And David here, he was in high school a lot of the time when we had workouts still, and he didn't have school out, so we're coming in on the weekend in the mornings for an hour-and-a-half workout, 8 to 9:30, roll calls at 9:30. Just gonna work him out to help him catch up for his days. So, how you feel about that? It's really early. Yeah. Yeah, yesterday, we did it yesterday too, and we ran down to Tower Road all the way at the end of Dewey from here, about 6 miles there and back, and did a little swim run, and some buoy charges and did some push-ups, so we're a little bit sore, but we're gonna work through it this morning. Get ready for Monday. Because if he doesn't get enough days in, he's gonna have to do it again, and we don't want to have to do that, so.
What about saving someone's life? Do you think you're capable of doing it?
I want to. That's why I joined.
You absolutely, positively could not be late. So, I can't remember, but 1 or 2 times when somebody was late, and that just didn't go well. So, no matter where you were or what you were doing, you got here in time.
Being late to most jobs is frowned upon. Here, it is feared.
I think this is the only job, besides maybe something in the military, where you go through physical pain if you're late to work. It's not pain, but who has to run for being late?
What's up?
Hey, top of the morning to you. Everything good?
Yeah.
Life treating you well?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Good talk.
Okay.
Good night?
So.
Okay.
Better morning.
Yeah, okay. Got that. Got that. Okay, bye now.
All right.
See you, Harley. Got the whistle. Got everything you need. Don't have flip-flops.
Only thing going to your guard set in the morning. Let me get in on time.
Exactly. They don't want to run a gauntlet on the lunch break. It's the run of shame.
Radio 929. Okay, here's the drill. As we know,
Lindemer.
clock's 5 minutes
Sarah.
past.
Here. Luxick. Here. McLeish. Here. Mikowski. Here. Caleb. Here. McKenna. Here. Michaels.
I got here at like 1:45, 9:45.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Late. It's all good.
Entire Rehoboth jurisdiction from the north end to the south end and back to Baltimore. Under 25 minutes. Every 30 seconds that you're late, it's a jetty swim. So you gotta move.
Go home, get my clothes for work tonight. I gotta work when I get off.
I don't know any guard that will tell you
Guards for the pay.
it's for the pay. And if you meet a guard that says that, then they're not really a guard.
I think it was something like $35 a month.
We didn't make any money. I think it was $14 a week. 7 days a week.
Coach used to say, look at all the benefits you're getting. Every time we'd ask, hey, Coach, we need some more money. Benefits, don't forget those benefits. And in fact, in those days, back in the 60s when I was a guard, we got 3 days off a summer. 3 days off a summer. Well, the benefits, he used to say, sunshine, look at the sunshine, pretty girls, fresh air, benefits. Yeah, Coach, but we need money for school. Yeah, but think of the benefits.
Well, I mean, you get to work out, you get tan. I definitely wasn't the money. It wasn't very good money. You can work at night still, I don't know.
And I think that's what separates it. These were jobs that we accepted, being guards, because we loved what we did.
%99 of the time, you're doing exactly what people think. You're sitting around, you're getting your tan, you're up there having your summer job.
Days like this when the water's not really kicking and kind of people, it's warm out. I mean, it's a slow day.
Usually you might have a little radio, you can listen to some music, catch up, ask them how they're doing on their workouts if they're rookies or whatever.
At 4:15, I gotta go down to Ray's stand. He's my lieutenant, and we're doing like probably a 45-minute workout or so.
You nervous?
A little bit.
Please come down, lieutenant chair, with all of your swimming equipment, including buoys.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this isn't too bad. We get 25, 30-second breaks in between each interval, so we're getting time to catch their breath. Come on, Adam! Keep training, it's hard. It goes on forever. And it sucks really bad, especially when you're sick.
I've been sick for like 5 days, 6 days, just runs you down. All this training, it's tough.
Yeah, we don't have to do much, you know what I mean? But there's gonna be situations where people's lives are gonna depend on how fit we are.
Just you want to make sure when you're out, you want to make sure you can take care of yourself and pretty much any situation, so that's why we train so hard.
Do you think other patrols train as hard as you guys?
Maybe. I mean, I hope they do. They should, considering what they got to deal with. Not knowing every day what you're going to have to walk into. You know?
The most important percentage of that for any lifeguard is that 1%. And that is when you have a near drowning on Olive. You have a heart attack, a broken neck. All of that 1% combined over this entire beach patrol will save a life. So when you gauge that 99% off of what anybody says, it's the 1% that the people truly talk about.
Well, like my son said, I won't break down. But Derek saved my son, and now I have a little grandson. Never would have had that.
I remember rescuing several people.
One case where there may have been 53 saves in one day.
Right off of Olive, and we heard this little girl scream.
And they had to comb the bottom for this young boy. About 30 seconds later,
I wasn't going to be able to find him, and one of those miracles that occurs, I bumped into him on the bottom and brought him back up.
He's spitting up water, and I can remember it so vividly, life coming back into this guy's eye like it was a Bugs Bunny cartoon, like boing.
First we had heard that he was going to possibly be paralyzed from the waist down.
We had a couple times where we had 15, 20 people stuck in rips, where it was very close.
Rip currents can kill, and they do kill. In the state of Florida, more people die from rip currents than hurricanes, tornadoes, lightning. But the biggest thing we need to do is educate the public.
But what they really need to know how to identify the rip current itself. So if they can identify it, then they know where not to swim and what to do if ever caught in one.
We're artificially setting up what we believe is going on in nature. So if you were on a beach and you walked out, at some point you're going to stand up higher. This is what's referred to as a longshore bar. And a lot of rip currents form in the depression in the longshore bar. So this is slightly higher than this. And because of this, it sets up different physics. And the physics force water to go faster out through the rip channel. And so it just exits. For these features that you see in Delaware, basically it comes up and it exits down the center of that beach cusp. And that has a lot of thrust to it that it'll knock people off their feet or can potentially push people offshore. But you don't realize this until it's too late, and then you realize you're further away from the shoreline, and this sends panic to people. And the first thing people start to do is swim directly onshore. And this is the wrong thing to do because now you're swimming against a fast current, and that's what is hazardous. And at a meter per second, Olympic swimmer cannot swim against this.
It's the second most leading cause of deaths in the ocean and 80% of rescues by lifeguards.
What you're supposed to do, you need to swim along the beach, parallel to the beach. There's not many other words you can say to describe that simple mechanism of just don't swim onshore, swim down the beach. We had 2 other grad students working on the project, and they went out to do the same thing and got a little bit exhausted, and before you knew it, they panicked and were trying to swim onshore. So that was actually an interesting lesson to me, that people, even though we're going to a project and studying this, they still panic. And so it's almost like you have to ingrain it in your head to relax. So if you don't panic, you can swim parallel. If you relax, you can just stay afloat. And so it really comes down to people need to just relax.
Now we have over 400 lost children in the summer.
Oh my Lord.
Did you, when you had lost children back then, or if you did, what did you do? How did you handle lost children?
To tell the truth about it, I can only remember a case of one lost child that we had an alarm. Apparently people then kept really close to their children.
And we'd hold the child up, and around your stand you'd blow the whistle and hold them up so somebody could see, you know, see if the child belongs there.
Right now, Brooks is trying to find the parents of this lost child, so he's getting attention up to the lifeguard stand. So anyone who's lost a kid, hopefully would look up. We had a 1034, his name was Elijah, 6 years old.
1034 is what?
1034 is code for a lost child that we had. We've had 4 today already off Wilmington.
The beach patrol had to stay until the kid was found. Is that still part of the deal?
No, we handed him to the police.
Well, I remember as a kid, and it happened once or twice on my watch. Man, we were here till 6, 7 o'clock until the kid was found. You couldn't leave.
Wow.
And they also would have the guards going all over town, helping try to find this kid. Of course, in those days, you know, there weren't that many people. But today, if a lost kid, gee.
I mean, I know for 4th of July, for the fireworks tonight, they say there's a couple 100,000 that are down in town for the weekend. So a lot of them are probably on the beach on a beautiful day like today.
In my 28 years here, that was the most people I saw. I don't know because of the beach replenishment, the way people were spread out, but you couldn't pull the lifeguard stands at the beginning of the day or the end of the day. All the Beach Boy shacks ran out of chairs. It was the most people I ever saw.
Lieutenants are realizing that the rookie test is coming up soon, so trying to just get in shape for that.
I mean, right now it's anybody's game to take the Rookie of the Year.
Walk down, it's going to be a single to me, okay? Walk fast.
With 3 days to go before the rookie test, lieutenants make sure the rookies never forget their rookie year.
Travis, you're not going to be right?
No. Yeah. You want to do rookie training again?
Absolutely, positively not.
Like that.
It was the funnest thing I would never want to do again.
It's more mental than anything. I mean, it's pretty much one thing right after the other, like push-ups, and then we'll start running.
Rookie training was definitely something unexpected for me. I played a lot of sports growing up, and nothing simulated the running or the swimming or anything that we were doing.
As soon as you finish it, run back, hit the first line.
Sometimes I miss those days. Sitting up here all morning gets kind of boring sometimes. You almost wish that you could work out. It makes the time go by very quickly.
This is just so different and alien, foreign to anything you've ever done. I mean, you're running, but you're running barefoot. You're on the hard sand. It's like running on concrete. You know, you're swimming, but you're swimming in the ocean. You have to deal with the current. You have to deal with the waves.
I mean, first week, these kids couldn't even do push-ups or pull-ups. It's pathetic, and now they're like machines. Been training them all year, my pride and joy. They better do good.
All the way down, Travis. Excellent, excellent.
You can't be soft because the ocean doesn't care. The ocean doesn't care if you're tired. The ocean doesn't care if you're hurt.
Come on, Travis, close him!
Probably one of the hardest.
One of the hardest things I've ever done in my life.
Probably one of the hardest. Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yep. I don't think we've worked harder than that.
That was tight. That was not easy.
Well, I told my patrol last week that if they could see where they are today compared to where they were opening weekend, back on Memorial Day weekend, you know, they've come miles.
By the time the rookie test got here, it was probably one of our easiest workouts of the whole season. You know, so once it was over, and you felt like a little sense of accomplishment. You're now one of the guys, and you knew when you came back the next year for your sophomore year that you weren't going to go through that mess again.
You're in the best shape of your life. I wish I was in that kind of shape right now.
I was in the best shape of my life.
Hands down, you're in the best shape of your life.
Abs without even flexing. I mean, still got
I
that.
would say probably 30 pounds ago, probably about the best shape I was ever in. You know?
It's the best shape of your life and nowhere to go but down after that.
I'm probably in the best shape of my life right now.
The rookie test takes place on 2 consecutive days following the 4th of July weekend. Day 1 has 2 events, a run, swim, run in the morning and a mile swim in the afternoon.
You know, it's a culmination of 6 weeks of training. It goes so fast.
They're excited, one, to compete and do well, and really just to finish it and to close the last chapter of the rookie training.
Rookie run swim run on Monday. I was terrified.
The rookie test, I was scared to death of that mile swim.
You're conditioned for it, but it's the mental aspect of it because you attack it so much harder. You want to succeed. You want to win every single event, even though you know you have no chance in some events of winning it.
You know, that's an example of something that I never thought I could have, been able to do. And, when time came, it was no problem. And not that I was the fastest one by any means, but I made it.
Tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, be here. Starts at 8. So you need to be here like 7:30, wherever it takes you to warm up. Gun goes off at 8 off of Brooklyn.
Nobody, except maybe you people, 5 years from now, is going to remember who won this rookie test. What they're going to remember, though, is what kind of person you were, what kind of lifeguard you were. Whether you worked 1 summer or whether you were 30 summers here like me, it's going to be the best time of your life. Remember your friends, all the good times you had. Okay, because it'll be the best time of your life. Today's the second part of the annual rookie test, and beginning, like you see, with the half-mile run. After that, they'll do how many push-ups they can do. It's a contest. The last person left is the winner. They'll be doing their sprint swim. They'll be doing line charges, buoy charges, their 200-yard soft sand sprint, simulated rescues, and they'll finish it with the breath hold. And then they're going to become official RBP guards.
You know, you train so hard mentally, not only physically, but this whole test, especially today, 10 events, it's all in your head. Your body can do some amazing things, and the hard part is convincing your mind that it can do it. Once you're done, you just realize you've made it. When you're done, you're part of the club. You know,
You're down there, you're doing this, you're not thinking about anything except just getting it done, doing the best you can.
During the line charges, I started feeling pretty rough. That's probably one of my hardest events.
It's a push-up contest.
I looked over and I saw Max just pumping him out, and like, it was just an experience I'll remember for my life. Everybody just working as hard as they can.
All they said was like, don't have any regrets, so I tried my hardest, and I thought I did pretty good.
I was prepared. I mean, AJ and Brooks, you know, everything we needed to do, we did. But nervous, you know.
When you get through it, you're the happiest person on earth.
When it's over, it's exhilarating, man. It's all your section, everybody's hugging you, saying a great job. You went through 6 weeks of pretty much hell, and it's all done. And tonight is nothing but the celebration.
Outstanding performance for Stuart Barr, Rookie of the Year. This year's Rookie of the Year, 2006. Back there in the corner. Come on up, Caleb Morris. Represent. Caleb Morris.
It's a rite of passage.
I'm worthy right now.
And if you pass that rookie test, you become part of this group. It's fraternal in nature. There's a bond. You know, you've earned the RBP that you wear on your sweats every day, and you've accomplished some really serious training, some hardcore training. You've passed this test, and now you're in.
I'm gonna be able to go out now, have a little bit of social life. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
The friendships, the camaraderie, and the bonds are created over time through thick and thin, culminating in a tightly knit family.
Days like this, when the water's not really kicking and kind of people, it's warm out. I mean, it's a slow day, so. But I mean, it's nice as long as you got a good music radio, hang out. It gives you a lot of time to think, and it can get boring. So you sometimes just slap yourself once or twice. You stay awake, but.
I don't know. I usually just watch the water. Really boring.
Try your best not to get bored, because then it really drags out.
Pastime, I just sing songs. Man, I know a bunch. Drum. I listen to the radio.
It's a time when you can really build those bonds between people that make up the camaraderie that, you know, makes RBP what it really is.
You sit on that stand with somebody, and you're going to talk a lot more than going out on your next training run or talk more about what's going on over there at jetty. You get into your family, you get into, you know, where you grew up, how you grew up. You get to know a lot about that person, and that's where the friendship develops.
When I went to college, it made it almost tougher for me because I bonded with these guys so tight. Here, I got to college and was just kind of like, I want to be back on the beach. Take me back to the beach. This isn't the same.
I think the thing that strikes me about the beach patrol, the fraternity of it. I mean, you know, most of us have belonged to a fraternity in college, and of course you stay in contact with those guys, but it's nothing like this. It's an amazing thing, and you don't know it, you know, when it's happening. You know it when it's over.
My favorite part about being on the beach patrol is working side by side with your absolute best friends and having the time of your life.
But really, we had a great time. We kicked ass. We worked out. We're great friends, and you know, years pass, and we still have that bond.
Yeah,
because
like,
we're all there.
It never changes. Same old 40 brothers I used to have.
Right.
Same old camaraderie. It's really fun.
So true.
In 2005, 218,000 people needed medical attention while attending beaches in the United States. Injuries can range from a jellyfish sting to being placed on a backboard, sometimes even life-altering.
I remember those, right when you ride that wave once, you just get that feeling in you and you just love it. But then I put my guard down and I turned my back to the ocean and I was watching my friends throwing a football on the beach. And that 1 second, a wave came behind me and just picked me up and just slammed me head first against the ocean floor. I remember the whole time that I was in the water until I blacked out. And then when I finally woke up and I was on the beach and just a bunch of people surrounding me. And it was pretty crazy. All I could think about was, you know, all the things I wanted to do on that vacation. My friend ended up running to get my dad, and my dad came down, and my dad automatically knew what happened. He just saw the bones sticking out of the back of my neck, and he's like, Josh. I was like, and I looked at my dad, and I was like, Dad, are we gonna be able to play golf tomorrow? And he's like, Josh, you really hurt yourself this time. And so the next thing I knew, I was on a helicopter flying to the hospital.
He was laying there on a bed. He could talk. They let me come in for about 15 minutes to see him. This is about 12 o'clock at night. And he was still covered with sand. And he was paralyzed. And then that's when, you know, I kept hearing Josh broke his neck. Josh broke his neck.
My new life began that day. When I was injured, there was no lifeguards at the beach. I was on a private beach in Bethany, and all I had was my friends with me. So because of my friends were there, that's the reason why I'm here right now.
Having a trained lifeguard assist you in an emergency can mean a world of difference.
I'd say we got to the beach around probably 10 o'clock, 10:30, and we were there till the accident happened.
You know, I saw that guy he got wrecked in the wave. He just hit right away. It looked like his head just went into the sand.
And I was able to come up for air and wave for assistance. And as soon as I did that, another wave came up from behind, pulled me under again, and snapped my neck back, and I landed on the bottom of the ocean floor.
I kind of had to interlock like a buoy in front of us to get him up. And usually we go to hold C-spine from under the armpits, but he was so much taller than me that she kind of barreled him for the front. I kind of just went over top. And I just remember getting him out, trying to get him out of the white water so that he we weren't dealing with the water anymore. It was strictly his neck and his back, which he was complaining of hurting.
I particularly thank Lieutenant Dave Dillahay and guards Chelsea and Ann and Rich. These people demonstrated professionalism, sensitivity, and genuine capacity for Jonathan, Winter, and me.
The Trauma Center at Christiana Care Hospital in Wilmington expressed concern for Jonathan's prognosis.
So they expected him to be paralyzed, and they also said he was extremely lucky he wasn't dead. And attributed that to the initial care that he received at the beach. The lifeguards handled it, protecting his neck in such a way.
And then to hear that it was just a fracture of his vertebrae was awesome, because it bothered me to think that guy that we helped was not going to be able to walk again.
The fact that we can handle situations like that, like there's a heart attack, CPR, and the guy is still living now with spinal like that. We're an all-around great patrol, I think, like handling situations and competing and having fun all at the same time.
All in good fun, guards play pranks on different sections of the patrol, each section trying to be more creative with their pranks than the next.
Lawsuits and getting in trouble, but it was big before I got on the patrol, and even my first 5-6 years on patrol was section wars.
Hit the water. If this goes bad, hit the water, meet back on park.
Buried stands where you couldn't even see them.
You guys ready? You guys ready for the drop?
coming back one night, and I had a freshwater fishing boat, and somehow someone had gotten the boat and put it in my bed. So I said, forget this. I was kind of drunk that night. I said, there's no way I'm going to get this boat out here, so I just slept in the boat that night. So, but Lifeguard uses are the greatest things. I mean, when people bury your stand, that, you know, I always thought that was a great use.
Ah, what happened to our stand?
There's duct tape on our stand.
Shacked all chairs, shacked all chairs. Whoever thought it would be.
Should we get the inner part? Dude, I'm already down the bottom. This smells wretched. Slap that shit.
I don't know how this one's going.
It's like we've been hacked. This is how it got mailed into us from Taiwan.
Believe that?
It's got a little protective juice on there. Yeah, did that real early in the morning.
Somebody's got a sad life they lead.
That's all right,
See ya?
thank you. No, I won't mess up your
Rob
You
goes,
got it.
do you?
Ew.
What is that?
Oh my god. Oh.
What is it?
I don't know what it is. You can
Looks
go.
like pudding.
You can pull it.
It's pudding.
That's not pudding, that's like tar pudding.
Is it like sticking to you? Here,
Oh,
kick sand into it.
That's
Let's just go. You're having fun with this, aren't you? You got it? Yeah.
Competition is a great way for guards to demonstrate the hard training they have gone through. It is a great motivator and keeps guards in top shape for saving lives. You must win a spot on the team, and it isn't easy.
The real birth of what I would call mini Olympics, and we didn't even call it Olympics in those days, really started around 56, 57.
That's right, I remember those. There were beach swims, there were the surfboard paddles, there was a line charge. And I believe originally it was just among the Rehoboth guards, and then I think maybe a couple adjoining beach patrols were invited, but it started out just being competition amongst ourselves.
Yes. I think the first Olympics was 1976 or 1977, and I think we might have had 6 or 7 beach patrols there. All the local beach patrols, I think Ocean City came, and I think we had the same events we have now. We might have added 1 or 2 more, but it was small, and over the years it just grew, and that's a Rehoboth production right there.
Back in the 80s, Rehoboth was not as dominant as they have been, or so I've read over the past 10, 15 years. Competitions, we normally came in a strong second.
I didn't want to be second. I knew that we had talent on this beach, get everybody together and get focused on a common goal, that we could do it.
When I go to California, if I go with the team or go and support a team, I take extra Rehoboth shirts. Guys want them, and we trade them. They know us. They know our name, and mostly because of Derek Shocker and anybody who has competed for him.
35. Staying alive, baby. OSF, older, stronger, faster.
Woo! You know, I've been running on this team for 16 years, and I feel if I can still run, I'm going to try each and every year. You know, barring injury or anything like that, I'm going to step up on that line, and if I don't make the team, I'll be able to give some inspiration, some motivation, so the tradition can carry on.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 28th annual Rehoboth Beach Patrol Lifeguard Olympics.
This is our home turf right here, and
We've had a long time that we've been victorious in it. And it means a lot to the alumni, it means a lot to the people that are on the Beach Patrol now. And we get psyched up for it each year. It means more to us than, let's say, a regional championships or a national championships.
Because it's kind of like, you know, it's on our home turf, and it's kind of like winning your homecoming game, you know.
Man, it's our event. It's awesome.
It's going to be a tight race tonight. It's not going to be a blowout in years past.
Tonight we have the 1 mile soft sand run, followed by landline. The third event tonight is the half-mile swim. The fourth event will be the half-mile paddle. The fifth event tonight will be the paddle rescue race, followed by the grueling Ironman medley in 6th place. Seventh is the run, swim, run relay, 4 swimmers. The 8th event this evening will be the Ironman. The 9th event will be the 4x220 soft sand sprint, followed by beach flags, the tug of war, and a volleyball event wraps up the evening.
I get kind of serious when it comes to this kind of stuff. I kind of like, you know, strive for these after college competitions and just like, it, you know, just perseveres and makes you stay in shape and gives you something to look forward to.
This is it, man. It's coming down to the tug. If we win the Olympics. If you lose, Sea Colony wins. So here we go. It's pretty intense. We're ahead by 1 point. So whoever wins this right now is going to.
All you got, Mark!
There was this kind of sense of, you know, don't put winning the Olympics on the tug of war's, the tug team's shoulders, because no one really expected us to do well. And that actually, I mean, it gave us some motivation to prove people wrong. To prove people wrong and show that we could do well, and to win the Olympics in doing that was so much better. It made it so much worth it. And you know, this tug team, this is my 5th year being on the tug team, and this tug team is probably the smallest tug team that I've been on, but it was the best.
The Rehoboth Beach Patrol has not only been dominating the local circuit, they have also made a name for themselves on the national and world scene, amassing over 100 medals in the past 15 years. Leading the way is the 4x100 team, which has won 11 national gold medals since 1990.
Probably one of the greatest races was the 2001 Nationals, and we were in San Diego, and there was 4 teams from Sussex County in the men's final, and we knew that we had stiff competition out of those 4. We knew that some of the other teams from the South Atlantic were going to have some juice too. When I handed off, we had 2 other Sussex County teams on the left and right, but I also knew that I was handing off to a guy that had gears, you know, stacked up like a Mack truck, and that was in Timmy Green, and he just laid it down. And at that point, we went from tied for first into a dominating first place lead. But it wasn't about just Rehoboth Beach winning the national championship. That was great, you know, and I was happy as hell, but we also got 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in that race. And more than us just winning, it was seeing Sussex County dominate.
In 2005, the landline team overpowered the competition and captured their first ever national title. The Rehoboth Beach Patrol may be small, but it is a force to be reckoned with.
We can talk about competition, we can talk about summer fun, but when you sign up as a Rehoboth Lifeguard, you need to do one thing each and every day. It's rescue people that need it. I mean, bottom line, Lifeguard.
If you don't have one, raise your hand. Who doesn't have one? Raise your hand if you don't have one. Everybody have one? Okay, when you open that, that's what this job's about. Okay, that's why we train. Okay? That's why I'm hard on you sometimes. Why we do what we do is because what you're about to see. Okay, that happened in September. Open it up, look at it. Dead person on a BZ board that we pulled out of the ocean in September. He drowned. Dead. We went out and got him in September. You see that there? Okay, that's me in the picture. That Cookie's in there. There's probably a couple other people in there. That guy drowned in a rip current. So that's why we do what we do. That's why I'm hard on you. That's why our lieutenants work you out. When August comes, we're going to need to step up and save people. Or people are going to end up like that. Dead. Dead. He went swimming on unsupervised beach without a lifeguard. Later today.
It was a great day. It was a beautiful day. It was well, nothing that wasn't doable. But this guy.
We were guarding into.
This was about 4 or 5 beaches down. So, being an unguarded beach, that far away, that's just a pin dot. You can't see that stuff. We can only cover so much territory on one beach. If it were to happen on our beach, it would have been a non-issue. But that was 4 or 5 beaches down. So we began to comb the water.
And you just see guards, you just see orange cans everywhere, just dive in, look in, and we don't really know. We still don't know. So Cap organizes everybody. He pulls them out of the water, and we're gonna do this sweep through the ocean.
From south to north. And right as he ordered that, a wave came in and the officer spotted the back of a person coming over the falls of the wave, and that was our victim. So we rushed to the water and dragged him out. He was unconscious, very hypoxic,
How many
blue.
guards did you have out there now?
We probably had about 10 to 15 of us at that point. Matt Farlow came up all the way from Olive with BZ. Jesse Lass was the first in the water.
He was just like the dead man for it, in a wave, and we all we didn't even flinch. We just went out and grabbed him. But at that point, they said from the time the 911 call was made and we first realized he was gone, the time we pulled him in, it was 15 minutes, and it's anything over 5-6 minutes, your brain is just fried. So.
Grabbed him, pulled him out, and then we all gathered around and dragged this lifeless body to the shore where we got him on a BZ, brought him up. Matt Farlow began compressions immediately, and our victim started spewing a lot of contents.
I just remember that was one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
And he was HIV positive, just spewing everywhere.
Yeah. They were pumping stuff in him. We were giving him chest compressions, and it was like one of those liquid hand soap things. Every time you press down on it.
So he got rolled away into an ambulance.
There was nothing that we did wrong in that situation. he was swimming on an unguarded beach, and I think Kent put it best, is that he never really gave us a chance to help him. So
it was very surreal. I'll never forget it.
After something like that goes down, how does that make you, or how do you act as a guard after something like that? Like, I mean, how it keeps you on edge?
You just, you just got to be on guard all the time. You will have moments of lapses, and the chair will do that to you after a redundant day of just calm. But, lesson learned, when you least expect it, that's when it goes down. So, it certainly has made me as attentive as I can possibly be, and I already am.
You don't just come here and just sit on the beach, like we really do a real job out here, and that was firsthand of why we're here, and guy could have saved his life if he really swam from a lifeguard stand. Seriously could have. But
August is coming, waves are coming, so you got to keep it tight, right?
Yeah, there's some days, I've been around so long, there's some days I can just wake up and open the door and I can see the wind direction. And I can tell myself it's going to be one of those days.
Whenever you come down Baltimore Avenue and you see that flag, starch coming right down the street, and you know it's the northeast. So, we're working today.
Yeah, the beach patrol it's like a whole other sport, and you practice, you work out all summer long, and those big days are game days.
I compare it to, I remember pulling up to a state lacrosse championship when I was in high school, and remember how my heart was beating and wanted to go in there and just go after it. And that's pretty much the same feeling that I would get when I walked across the dunes and saw the surf just pumping, and knew that it was going to be a busy Saturday or Sunday. Kind of, you have to put your game face on and go after it.
Your job is to prevent what may happen in that water, despite the size.
95% of the time is boredom up there, and then the other 5% is terror. And it's that 5% that you train for, and I think Rehoboth has always done an excellent job in preparing, their guards to get it done when that 5% comes.
We were keeping some younger kids and some less experienced people. We were trying to keep them about knee deep, but inevitably somebody gets out there for us.
Go with Coverdown.
You never doubt that you have to go, and you never think twice about it. But it's not. You're a little bit scared at times. I'm scared, not frightened, but I mean it's your adrenaline's pumping, the heart's pumping, and and that's serious business out there. You can get in trouble just as much as anybody else. I think there's a misconception at times that it's just easy to just swim out there. And these guys make it look easy, and they do make it look easy, but it can get a little spooky at times.
She was struggling. She just started panicking when we were out there. She was like resisting me, so what I had to do was hold on to her and just take the waves and just lean back into them and wait for a little break in the surf so I could get her in all the way. She was definitely in trouble though. It's rough out here.
I think if you talk to any guard, anybody's got their one save they remember the most.
He was starting to flounder, and again, instinctively, he's not going to make it in. He's going backwards, even though he's swimming toward the beach.
The waves were coming in, they were breaking so hard top to bottom that we knew we were going to get slammed. And I remember holding on to my guy and talking to him and saying, look, the chances are we're gonna get thrown down pretty hard.
Next thing I know, I was 30 feet away from her, and Lifeguard had to come in and save me.
because I panicked and just knew I couldn't make it back in shore.
So you end up having a lot more people stuck in a rip, so a lot more guards going in the water. Probably had somewhere in the neighborhood of 30, 35 rescues already today from one end of the beach to the other, so it just makes it a lot harder, a lot more people involved.
We're down far more Little Olive. What do you see? Both went.
Turned around, had to swim against the rip, and as I'm swimming back towards the guys who are screaming for help, I see this wave go over the one kid, and I lost him for about 5 seconds. Which 5 seconds when you're going to rescue someone is a long time. I thought I was going to have to surface dive, and all I could think in my head was everybody's going home today.
I swam past two guys that were calling for help, and I gave my buoy to a kid. He was just exhausted, out of breath, and that's the first time I've ever had to do that. Give my buoy away. I mean, we trained for that, and I never thought it would happen. So I gave my buoy to him, and then I swam over to the next guy to help him get in. So I'm cross-chesting him. We're not going anywhere. I mean, the rip's just sucking us out. So I'm sitting there waiting for help. Johnny Sapienza comes out, grabs that guy. I think he already helped somebody else get in, so now he grabs my guy. And now all of a sudden I see my kid that I gave the buoy, he's floating away, getting dripped out again, and I'm like, we got a huge jetty over here. So I'm tired, I swim over to that kid, and I'm like, I'm tugging on him, trying to get my buoy back, trying to bring him back in. And thankfully Strom Edwards got there. The two of us pulled in, and the two of us struggled to get just one kid in after all that was said and done. And then, of course, a couple big sets come in and knock us around, but the people that came out I was very confident with, and could have been with a better group of lifeguards. It was great.
A day like this, a day when someone's life is saved, might not happen tomorrow or next week, maybe not until next year. But one thing is for certain, the lifeguards will be there, and they will be there for life.
Dominic, Ed, Jeff, Fellini, Trevor, Nathan, AJ.
Again, that hadn't changed. They're the same, they're the same great guys that I guarded with. Their names are different, their faces are different, but they're the same people.
Derek Shocker.
My name is Jeremy. My name is David Walter.
I'm Matt Wimmer. Jason McKay. My name is Brett.
My name is Jordan. My name is Sarah.
My name is Joe G. I'm Brooks Pierce. This is my Casey Lyle.
I guarded here in Rehoboth from 1989 until 1994.
Dave Reddick, I guarded from about 87 until around probably
My name is James Hutton. I was lifeguard in Rehoboth.
My name's Ed Riggin.
1989.
Edward R. Hill.
Why we are here since 1921. Nobody drowned on our beach while we're on duty. That's it. Simple rule. That's our mission in life. The summer life, Lifeguard. We protect everybody. Anytime, in any weather, we are here. All right? So let's have a good day.
Well, he had a number of, his father, brother, was a wild man. And he went in swimming during the hurricane. And he had a crowd of maybe 50 people standing on the boardwalk watching him try to survive. And he got swept out, and it looked like he was going to be lost. And Willard Duross, who was one of the old guards, he's maybe 10 years older than I am. He's probably not, I'm sure he's not alive now. Went in the water and brought this lingo guy back to the beach. I don't know how in the hell he ever did it.
No better feeling than seeing somebody else's life. You know, putting yourself, in harm's way to help that other person.
We're doing a little test here, okay? Tell me about my student loans. Tell me something.
Tell you about your student loans. You got a lot and you haven't paid them.